The difference between wanting and winning is not talent, not luck, not opportunity, and not even intelligence. It is commitment, discipline, and the willingness to suffer discomfort in silence, while everyone else is still negotiating with their excuses. Wanting is easy. Anyone can want a better life. Anyone can want success. Anyone can want money, freedom, respect, confidence, and a better future. Wanting costs nothing. You can want while staying in bed. You can want while wasting time. You can want while avoiding responsibility. You can want while staying the same person you were yesterday. But winning is different. Winning demands sacrifice. Winning demands consistency. Winning demands action when you feel tired. Action when you feel unmotivated. Action when nobody is watching. And action when nothing is guaranteed. That is why so many people stay stuck in the cycle of wanting, but never entering the reality of winning. They live in imagination, but never step into execution. They talk about dreams, but avoid the discipline required to reach them. And slowly, years pass, and they realize they are still in the same place they started. Still wanting, still hoping, still waiting, but never winning. Because winning does not respond to desire. Winning responds to discipline, and discipline is not a feeling. It is a decision repeated every single day. The moment you understand this, your life either transforms or exposes you. It exposes whether you are serious or just emotional about your goals. Because emotions change, but discipline stays steady. People who only want success quit when it gets hard. People who choose to win continue when it gets unbearable. That is the separation line between the average and the extraordinary. Wanting says, I hope things get better. Winning says, I will make things better. Wanting waits for motivation. Winning creates action without it. Wanting looks for perfect timing. Winning creates progress in imperfect conditions. And here is the truth most people avoid. There is always a gap between who you are and who you want to become, and that gap is filled with discomfort, repetition, failure, learning, discipline, and consistency. If you avoid that gap, you remain a wanter. If you walk through it, you become a winner. Most people underestimate how small the actions are that create winning. They think winning is a big moment, a big breakthrough, a big lucky opportunity. But winning is built in the quiet moments when you choose to show up again after failing, when you choose to study again after feeling tired, when you choose to work again when nobody appreciates your effort, when you choose to stay consistent when results are invisible. That is where winners are made. Not in applause, but in repetition. Not in motivation, but in discipline. And the painful truth is that most people never cross from wanting to winning because they fall in love with comfort. Comfort tells you to delay. Comfort tells you to rest. Comfort tells you that tomorrow is fine. Comfort tells you that effort is optional. But winning tells you the opposite. It tells you that time is limited. Energy must be used, and consistency is everything. And every time you choose comfort over discipline, you are reinforcing the identity of someone who only wants but never wins. But every time you choose discipline over comfort, even when it is hard, even when it is inconvenient, even when it feels slow, you are stepping closer to becoming someone who actually wins. Winning is not about never failing. It is about never quitting. People who win fail more than people who want because they are actually trying, but the difference is they don't stop. They adjust, they learn, they grow, and they continue. And that continuation is what separates them from everyone else. You must understand that your current life is not a result of what you want. It is a result of what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly act with discipline, you build winning. If you repeatedly act with excuses, you build stagnation. There is no neutral life. You are either building momentum or building regret. And the longer you stay in the wanting stage, the harder it becomes to transition into winning, because comfort becomes stronger and discipline becomes weaker. That is why you must decide today, not tomorrow, not someday, that you are no longer just someone who wants, but someone who will act, someone who will show up, someone who will do what others avoid. Because winning is not a secret reserved for a few people. It is available to anyone willing to pay the price. The price is consistency. The price is patience. The price is effort when nobody is clapping. The price is doing what is right, even when it feels slow. And if you are willing to pay that price, your identity will change. You will stop being someone who dreams and start being someone who builds. You will stop hoping and start executing. You will stop waiting and start creating. And slowly, life will begin to reflect that shift. Because the world responds, not to your wishes, but to your actions. And the moment your actions change, your results begin to change. So ask yourself honestly, not what do I want, but what am I doing daily to win? Because that is the only question that matters. And if your answer is unclear, then your direction must change immediately. Stop negotiating with laziness. Stop delaying effort. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start showing up as someone who is serious about their future. Because winners are not special people. They are ordinary people who refuse to stay ordinary through discipline. And if they can do it, so can you. But only if you stop wanting and start winning. And if this message spoke to you, inspired you, and reminded you of your potential, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful daily motivation that pushes you to become the strongest version of yourself. Because your journey doesn't end with motivation. It begins with action, and action is where winners are made. The real difference between wanting and winning becomes clear the moment life stops being easy and starts demanding proof of who you are. Because wanting never survives pressure, but winning is born from it. And this is where most people finally realize they have misunderstood success their entire life, because they thought success was something you attract with desire. But in reality, success is something you earn through behavior, through repetition, through discipline when no one is watching, and through consistency when nothing is working. And this is the part most people avoid because it removes excuses and replaces them with responsibility. And responsibility is uncomfortable because it forces you to accept that your life is not controlled by your dreams, but by your daily actions. And this is why so many people stay stuck, because they live in the emotional comfort of wanting instead of the disciplined reality of winning. They imagine success, but avoid structure. They dream of transformation, but resist routine. They think about greatness, but avoid effort. And slowly, their identity becomes built around intention without execution. And intention without execution is just self-deception, repeated long enough to feel like progress. Winning, however, is completely different. It does not care about how you feel. It does not care about your mood. It does not care about your excuses. It only responds to what you repeatedly do. And that is why winners are not the people who always feel ready, but the people who act even when they are not ready. Because they understand that readiness is not a feeling. It is a result of action. And action is always the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. Most people think winners are special, but they are not special in mindset. They are simply committed in behavior, because while others negotiate with their comfort, winners negotiate with their potential. And they always choose potential over comfort, even when it hurts, even when it is slow, even when results are invisible, because they understand something powerful. The early stages of winning never look like winning. They look like struggle, repetition, boredom, failure, and silence. And most people quit during that phase because they confuse silence with failure. But winners understand that silence is just the beginning stage of success, forming beneath the surface. And this is where the transformation truly begins. Not when life gets easier, but when you stop running from difficulty and start respecting it. Because difficulty is not a punishment. It is the price of growth. And every level of success requires a new level of discomfort. And if you avoid discomfort, you automatically avoid growth. And that means staying in the same place while calling it waiting for the right time. But the truth is, there is no right time. There is only repeated action or repeated delay. And repeated delay always creates regret, while repeated action creates momentum. Winning is simply momentum that never stopped, and wanting is momentum that never started. And if you look closely at your life, you will realize every area where you feel stuck is an area where action has been inconsistent. Because consistency is the invisible force behind every transformation, not motivation, not inspiration, not luck, but consistency in doing the same difficult things over and over again, until they become your identity. That is why discipline matters more than desire. Because desire fades, but discipline remains. And when discipline remains long enough, it becomes identity, and identity becomes results. This is how people change, not by thinking differently first, but by acting differently, until thinking catches up. So if you want to move from wanting to winning, you must accept that your current habits are the reason your current life exists, and your future habits will be the reason your future life exists. And there is no shortcut around this truth. And here is the hardest part most people resist. Winning requires letting go of the version of yourself that is comfortable but unproductive. You cannot remain the same person and expect a different outcome. You cannot keep the same habits and expect a new life. You cannot keep choosing ease and expect greatness. At some point, you must decide that your future matters more than your comfort, and that decision will feel uncomfortable at first, because your old identity will fight back. It will tell you to rest, to delay, to avoid, to return to what is familiar. But if you stay firm in discipline, that old identity slowly weakens, and a new identity begins to form. Someone who does what they say, someone who follows through, someone who acts without waiting for perfect conditions. That is the moment you shift from wanting to winning, not instantly, but gradually, through repetition, through small decisions, through daily discipline that no one sees, but everything depends on. Because winning is not built in public, it is built in private. It is built in early mornings when no one is watching, in late nights when no one is cheering, in moments when you choose effort over excuses, in moments when you continue, even when progress feels invisible. And if you can survive that invisible phase, everything else becomes visible success. But most people never reach that stage because they quit too early, not realizing that quitting is what keeps them in the cycle of wanting forever. So the real question is not whether you want success, because almost everyone wants it, but whether you are willing to stay consistent long enough to become it. Because winning is not a moment. It is a process of becoming someone who cannot be stopped by discomfort anymore. And when you finally understand this deeply, your entire mindset changes. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, what must I do today? You stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline. You stop hoping for change and start creating it. And slowly, your identity shifts from someone who dreams about success to someone who builds success daily. That is the real difference between wanting and winning. Not intelligence, not talent, not background, but willingness to act repeatedly without guarantee. Because winners do not need certainty. They create certainty through action. And if this message made you reflect, shift your mindset, and reminded you of what you are capable of, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More powerful motivational videos are coming every day to help you stay disciplined, focused, and mentally strong on your journey from wanting to winning. Stay connected, because your transformation starts with action, and action builds winners.